What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. Want to look at some data today. John Morant, what is going on in that young man's brain? I don't understand it. I don't get it. If you don't know what's going on with Ja, for the second time already, has been filmed holding a firearm on Instagram Live or whatever, hanging out with his boys, wilding out, acting crazy, just doing what these young kids are doing, brandishing a weapon, and he's in hot water again. Now, his team has suspended him. Rumor is that the league is gonna potentially suspend him for an extended amount of time. The estimates are like half the season right now is kind of what they're looking at. Now, if you don't know, this is the second time that Ja has had this kind of an issue within the last 3 or 4 months. I think the last time it happened was right before they got eliminated. But I mean, I don't get it. I was a big fan of this kid. I still am from a basketball standpoint. The guy's a phenomenal basketball player. I got a handful of his rookie cards here that I was about to send off. Just some lower end stuff that I really liked. You guys know I love my hoops and stuff like that. Anyway, I was gonna send off. This is the only Prism Jaw that I have, which is just the instant impact. It's not really a real rookie card. But in light of what's happened in the last couple of days and over the weekend, I think I'm going to hold off, and I'll show you why. Because, let's flip on over here. Mr. John Morant's card prices are tanking. Down 25% in the last 7 days, down 27% over the last 30 days. His base rookie optic is just been cold, down 34% in the last 7 days. His Prism Silver is down 78% in the last 7 days. But what's interesting is if you click on one of these, let's take a look at this base Prism. What you'll notice in the price history for a PSA 10 is between May 10th, May 9th, I mean, they were up in the 80, 87, 100, 80, and then all of a sudden 60, 80, 70, 70, 60, 65 is the last one that sold that we grabbed off of eBay. I'm pretty sure there's, if I go to eBay, I'm sure there's a lot more comps of this thing selling. I mean, PSA 9s, which is kind of where I like to hover. SGC. Let's look at SGC 10. $46 for an SGC 10. I mean, this kid's prices are tanking. Now, that being said, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to get everybody's opinion on stuff like this. When a young player like this, that was, the center of attention for a long time, especially within the hobby, it was 2019, 2020, when the pandemic hit and everybody, the big boom started happening. And of course, the two rookies that year were John Morant and Zion Williamson. And both of those, with Zion having his issues with, coming back to the Pelicans and stuff like that, his health issues and stuff like that. A lot of people say it's not really a health issue. It's more like him just being a diva and not wanting to come back. And there's all kinds of stuff like that going on. Now Ja, with this second issue that he's had that has already gotten him suspended from his team, potentially going to get him suspended for the rest of the year or for half of the season. What are you guys doing in this situation? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doubling down. And I know that might sound crazy, but I'm doubling down in the sense that I still like both of these guys as basketball players. And this may be just me being either naive or maybe too over forgiving, but they're also really young, both of them. I mean, Ja's 22, 23 years old. I'll pop it up right here. He's a young kid. And I can remember doing some really stupid stuff when I was that age. And I didn't have millions of dollars to my name, which oftentimes can give these young kids sort of a God complex that, whatever comes my way, I'll just throw a bunch of money at it and we'll be fine. I still like Ja as a basketball player. I think he's one of the bright futures of the game. I mean, at least I did last Friday before all this crap came out. And what this allows me to do, once again, as a collector, is to really get my hands on some good Ja Morant cards for relatively cheap, because all the investors that are strictly looking at this from an investment standpoint are going to do one of two things. They're either going to go, well, I can't sell them now because I'm into this card for $400 and I'm not going to sell it for $65, right? Or I bought 50 of them at $100 back when they were cheap, and I didn't sell at the peak, and I'm holding on to them now, and I'm definitely not going to take a bath on 50 of these. But what's happening is that people like me, who actually like the kid in terms of a basketball player, I keep reiterating in terms of a basketball player, I would just like to have a handful of really nice Ja Morant rookie cards in my collection. And it looks like now's the time to pick them up. And let me give you my logic. I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh, you're stupid. Why would you buy it? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. He's young. He is, regardless of what he's doing off the court, which I hope he could be steered in the right direction. With some counseling and hopefully getting some good people in his corner and getting him into a place where he can be a little bit more mature about some of the decisions he's making. Regardless of all that, he still has the skill to be a great basketball player and have a relatively long, fruitful career. At which point we would just consider this scenario to be just a speed bump in an otherwise remarkable career. And I'd like to own a piece of that. I'd like to collect some of his cards and have them for when that does happen. And I do think that that's going to happen. I'm hoping that that's going to happen. But I've been a big fan of this kid ever since the first time I watched him play in person in Houston. And I feel the same way about Zion. If you've ever seen Zion in person, the guy is an absolute unit of a human. And then I didn't get to watch him play, but knowing what he looks like in person and then seeing what he would do on TV when he was playing, it'll blow your mind. So I, for one, am going to really pay attention to this. By the way, if you guys want to check out the card prices, cardhedge.com, all the links are in the description below. And then also you can download the app, which is on the Apple Store, and then on Google Store. You can download them for your phone. You get your free comps and all that stuff. I'm putting this one, I actually have a couple of them already to buy. I'm going to keep an eye on his Silver Prism rookie, which, if I'm looking at a PSA 9, and I remember when these things were doing thousands of dollars. Oh, look, a PSA 10 is only $125. That is insane. Considering a year ago they were doing $5,000, close to $6,000. This card is now $150, $125. Now, I'm not saying it's ever going to get back up to $5,900, but if you are a fan of Ja Morant and you still think that there is redemption in his future, then to own one of his cards for $125 and add it to your personal collection seems like a damn good deal to me. And I honestly think that number is going to be a little bit lower. I think it's going to go down further because, you know, we're still waiting to hear what the league is going to do about him. Maybe now's a good time to pick up one in raw form, whatever the case may be. But I got my flame retardant suit on, and I'm going to go jump into the comments and see what you guys say. But this is kind of part of what it is to be somebody who's just looking to collect certain players. Not necessarily from an investment standpoint. Listen, if it pans out again where this kid is all of a sudden the next Michael Jordan and his cards go back up to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, then great. I made out like a bandit. But if the guy runs off next week and starts shooting up a club and then he goes to jail for the rest of his life, well, then I spent $100 on his card. I don't really care. If anything, I got a great story to tell. A la 1990 Hoops, Mark Jackson type of card. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Tell me how crazy I am. Tell me how crazy I am. I think this is part of what I like to do as from the collecting side of what I do, which is 98% of what I do. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all as always. Love y'all. Peace.